Hello and welcome to Design Minute. Today on this episode, I'm going to answer the question, is gray trending down? And there are so many shades of gray, and yes, there is over 50, and all kinds of different paint lines, of course, have different grays. And so when you say gray paint, there's just so many different tones and shades and undertones and all of that go with it. But the gray that I'm talking about today is what most people would identify as being a gray paint, which is the gray that's got the hint of blue in it. So I'm just going to give you an example, and then you can look these up and see if this is what you identify as a gray colored paint when you think about gray. That would be, and this is Sherwin-Williams, like North Star, Evening Shadow, Steely Gray, Let It Rain. There's some really much darker grays that most people don't use. Jubilee. Those are just off of two paint color swatches. So look at those colors, and so that you know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this particular tone and shade of gray. I'm talking about the one that really has a lot of blue in it, but most people just call that gray. So is that particular family of colors trending out? And the answer, and I'm so sad, get your tissues out if you are in love with gray, sad to report that it is. It is trending out. However, gray has been in designs and trending for like 15 years. So it really has been going strong. It's been used a lot. And so it's really had a great run of it. Now, there are a lot of colors on the color swatches, and of course I have like a big paint deck that I use, but there are a lot of colors in here that the names of them have gray in them, but if you looked at them, you would not say, oh, that's a gray paint. So that's why it's really hard when you talk in color in generalities, is that right? So anyway, that like what you would say is a true gray in your mind and present itself as you would call it gray is going out. So what does that mean? Does that mean that you need to switch everything out in your house if your whole house is gray? No, not if you love it. Does that mean that you can't incorporate this color into your design if you love it? No, it doesn't mean that either. Does this mean if you are getting ready to start a room redo and you're thinking about your overall theme and backdrop colors of your room, should you think again before using this color of gray? Then my answer would be yes. Because if you are going for a timeless design, one that is going to last you for 10, 15 years, and I'm talking like paint color and flooring and things like that, things that you just don't change out frequently, that are large expenses or large time commitments, or just, I mean, it's a hassle to paint a room. So if you're thinking about those types of finishes, and even cabinet colors, if you're thinking about those types of finishes, then you may want to pause and think a little longer if you were thinking about going with the gray, like the gray blue tones of gray. Because it could be that you love it now, but as it continues to trend down, then our opinion and the way that we feel around colors, things that are going on around us have an effect to sway how we feel about certain designs and how certain things look. So as the trend starts going away from gray, and you've just implemented this into your home, you may not really decide that you're not happy with it, and you wish you would have gone with something a little more neutral. Because as gray has been used as a neutral color, we're coming away from that now. And so I would just say that if you're thinking about walls, floors, cabinetry, countertops, like really committed design decisions, you may want to do a little research. You may want to think again before you go with one of those gray blue tones that have been super popular over the past 10 to 15 years, because it's going to be expensive to change that out. Now, does that mean that you can't go with floors and colors and, you know, on your wall and cabinets, that you would be able to bring that color into your design because you just love it so much and you feel like you're always going to love it? Then no, you should do that. But you've got to pick those neutrals that are going to go well with those gray tones, so that so that you can use those in your design. So I'm not trying to steer you away from, vetoing gray altogether, because I actually like gray. I use it a lot in my designs. I'll use it a lot in my home staging. But when I'm doing a design, and this has probably been over the past 9 months, when I'm doing a design and I have a client that really is like, I want to go gray. Like, I want to do gray floors, I want to do gray walls, I really try to steer them towards a more neutral gray that is not necessarily a blue gray or a green gray or something like that. Because I know that it's just over time, you're just going to be more happy with a more timeless backdrop and a more neutral backdrop. And the more undertones that you get in your color, like your main backdrop color of your room, the less timeless that design will be. Because neutrals, you can change out your accessories, you can change out your rug, you can change out even your furniture, you can change out, just your smaller accessories and go with a totally different color scheme, but not have to change your backdrop. So this may save you some time and money. And the last thing I will mention is, if you are flipping homes, I would recommend that you begin moving away from the blue-gray tones. Because again, it's just trending out. It's not going to seem as current for buyers that are walking in, because it's going out the door. So I would advise you to start looking at some more neutral, warmer colors that, and I'm not saying to, do everything like super white and all of that. I would never recommend that for a flipped house. But there is a color trending in as gray is trending out. And I'm actually going to share a little bit about what that color is, and how you can tap into those colors, give you some examples of what paint colors that you may put in your toolbox to replace the grays that you have been using in your flipped homes. And I would advise you on your next project to move away from the blue grays and embrace this new color trend that's coming in that is actually beautiful and fabulous, and I love it so much. And I've actually been using it for quite a long time in my designs and in my home stages. So if you will tune in to the next Design Minute, I'm going to share with you, now that gray is going out, what is coming in to replace that. So I hope you will join me there, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel to get my Design Minutes as soon as they are released. And in the meantime, happy home styling.